Is your sourdough starter weak, slow, or not doubling like it should? In this video, I'm sharing simple ways to strengthen your starter so you can get a better rise, better fermentation, and more consistent sourdough bread. One of the most common mistakes is not feeding your starter enough fresh flour and water. When you underfeed, the microbes run out of food too quickly, which makes the starter acidic. It can start to look foamy or soapy on the top, which leads to a weak rise and inconsistent performance. A good baseline is a 1 to 1 to 1 feeding ratio, equal parts starter, water, and flour. If your starter is well established, I recommend feeding it a 1 to 3 to 3 ratio on a daily basis, and you will see that your starter will thrive. It'll be nice and thick, and it will never be acidic. Using a scale is very helpful to not underfeed your starter, so make sure you're giving it enough food until its next feeding. If you want to wake your starter up, whole wheat flour is one of the fastest way to do it. Whole wheat grains contain more nutrients, minerals, and natural microorganisms compared to white flour. So that extra food source boosts the fermentation activity and it helps the yeast multiply even faster. What I like to do is add 15 grams of the whole wheat flour onto my sourdough starter, especially when I only have a little bit of starter like you can see here. I add 15 grams and it gives it a boost and it just makes it so strong and you can see the difference. Your starter might even look a little bit thicker because the wheat flour absorbs some of that water a little bit more. So wheat flour is honestly one of the best ways to strengthen your starter. And now on to my third tip. A 1 to 1 to 1 feeding ratio is great for maintenance, but if your starter is weak, you can actually strengthen it faster by giving it more food, meaning more flour. I always feed my starter a minimum of a 1 to 3 to 3 ratio. But if my starter seems a little bit sluggish, maybe the temperature is getting warmer and my starter seems a bit more runny, I like to do a 1 to 3 to 4 ratio. So 1 part starter, 3 parts water, and 4 parts flour. This will literally make your starter so strong, thick, and super active, which is something that I like. As you can see here, it's not a super thick starter, but it's thicker than normal. So you can see that there's still chunks of flour and all I have to do is keep mixing until everything is well incorporated. This is exactly how I like to feed my starter on most nights. And look at how it looks in the morning or once it's reached its peak. It's thick. You could see there's activity on the top. It's not really as watery as some other starters look. When I tap it on the surface, you can see that it is thick. It's holding on to the sides and it's not falling so quickly. Just look at all of that webbing. I love to see this. When my starter is nice and thick, is when I get the best bread, the best results, the best rise. If my starter is happy, then my dough and my bread and I will be happy because we get the best results. Temperature plays a huge role in fermentation speed. If your starter is too cold, everything slows down, including the yeast activity. Using slightly warm water around room temperature to mildly warm helps activate fermentation faster and more evenly. 80 degrees would be the ideal temperature. And now on to peak feedings. This is one of the most powerful ways to build strength. Instead of waiting for your starter to fall after peaking, feed it at peak. When it is at its highest rise and it is not domed anymore, it's slightly caving in, you can use your starter or discard it and feed it in that very moment. You don't have to wait a full 24 hours to feed your starter. This keeps the yeast in a constant active state. Over time, peak to peak feedings trains your starter to become faster, stronger, and more reliable with every cycle. And that brings me to the last tip. Making sure that your starter has reached its peak before feeding it again especially if you're doing peak-to-peak feedings. Feeding your starter at the wrong time can slow progress without you even realizing it. If you feed it too early, the yeast hasn't fully developed yet. As you can see here, the top of the starters are domed, meaning it has not reached its peak. It is not ready to be used or to be fed. So now onto an active, bubbly starter. This is what your starter is supposed to look like. It has to have bubbles on the sides of the jar, activity on the top. It should look nice and thick. If you tap it on a surface, the starter should hold on to the sides of the jar. The starter should smell sweet and yeasty and not acidic. I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other tips, and I'll see you guys in my next video.